Oh hey, I love my tank. I love my system. I call it my baby. But I want to do a video on if you really want to get into saltwater reef keeping. I got some helpful tips for you. And one of the best tips to start off in this video is research. Doing your homework in this hobby will do amazing things for your learning experience, especially while starting out. You don't want to go and get a tank and just go through failures because you didn't do your homework. Doing your homework is very important in reef keeping. Doing my homework, and I'm still doing my homework. Experienced guys are still doing their homework because there's still things in this hobby that people like, okay, why did this happen? Why did that turn out that way? Why is this thing's failing in my system? There's things that people just don't know why things happen, and it's very important to do your research, especially with beginners. Especially, I just don't want a beginner to get in the hobby and just quit because it's too hard and you didn't do the proper research, or you went to some forum that was telling you different stuff and leading you into a bad direction. So it always, when you get advice from somebody, keep searching on your problem and trying to see what works best for you. So that's one of the best tips I can give you. Another tip is patience. Nothing good happens fast in this hobby. I said this in my last video. If you missed that video, please go check it out. Show me some love. But nothing good happens fast. I learned it in my last system. I had a 65-gallon saltwater tank. I was rushing things, and what did that rush get me? Nothing but failures. Nothing but algae issues. Nothing but corals dying. I was so upset with myself. I'm like, man, I want to start this system over, start it from scratch. But nah. You gotta have patience in this hobby. And that what led me up to this tank. I did my homework. I did my studying. I had patience. And believe me, when you get in this hobby, it will teach you patience. It will, I guarantee you that. Because you can start off not being patient, and then go ahead, you're gonna have a lot of failures, and then the next time I guarantee you will have patience in this hobby. Because I learned that the hard way. That's what a lot of people learn, is patience in this hobby. Another good tip is knowing your parameters, keeping your parameters stable. What I use, and I thank Rico's Aquariums for putting me on this, is a calcium reactor. He always talk about calcium reactors, and that's what I got on the boat with, calcium reactors, and it's keeping my parameters stable, very stable. And I was using 2-part, but I wanted to make a switch, and I'm very glad I did. And it's really keeping up with my parameters. I test like twice a week, and it's doing good. But the key about parameters is picking a number and staying with that number. Don't go pick a number because you seen somebody else successful reef tank and say, oh, I'm gonna pick that number also. Just pick a number that you will want to be at and sticking with it and trying to make it stable, because corals don't like that fluctuation in your parameters. So say a fluctuation in the parameters mean, like, if your alkalinity is at 7 and then the next day you dose it up to 9, that's gonna cause stress on the corals or whatnot. So knowing your parameters is very important, and keeping a reef tank, and maintenance is a big factor, especially with equipment, because a lot of equipment won't do good if you don't do any maintenance on it. Like, What I do, I clean out my protein skimmer. I clean my wave pumps. I do water changes. That's all I do. And all my equipment, every time when I clean my equipment out, I clean my filter sacks. I know I'm forgetting some other stuff, but I like to do maintenance every 2 weeks. So that's just what I like to do, and it's working for me, so I'm gonna keep doing it, doing water changes, and it's working for me. And to sum everything up, I believe everybody can be successful with keeping reef tanks. It just takes time for success. That's when life in general, you can't rush success. It takes time. You gotta put in the work. So that's how I'm gonna end this video on. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.